Hey, how's it going? It's Mark at Mazworx. Today we're going to show you how to install our timing chain kit on the SR20.
So on this SR20 that we're using as an example, the billet oil squirter has already been installed. Usually you'll want to install that before you start assembling the block. So we're going to start at the keyways here on the crank. On this engine, it's a billet crankshaft, so Miguel's just tapping in the keyways with an aluminum punch just to make sure that they're seated, so that way the gear and the oil pump drive that comes later slide on smoothly. So now he's going to go ahead and throw the gear on, and this gear is directional, so one side will have a taper to it, and that's the side that goes to the back of the crankshaft, just like that. You want to make sure that you put it on the right way, otherwise you're going to have a bunch of alignment issues, and it's going to be bad news bears. On this chain, we use an Oem Timing Chain. You're going to line it up with a gray link if you don't have any timing tools. So if you see there, there's a little gray link that's separated from the other two. That's the one you'll slide on there. And then you'll go ahead and put in your timing chain guides. We like to throw a little bit of Loctite on them just to make sure they don't back out. And with these guides, we plan on making some billet ones here in the future. As Nissan continues to discontinue SR20 parts, we're doing our best to support the aftermarket with new parts, just to keep everything dated, up to date, brand new. We can still support high quality SR20s. So now he's going to go ahead and put the front cover on. So the reason that he's doing the timing upside down for this section is because the bottom of the oil pump housing, there's a little section that goes under the chain, and that's going to hold the chain in place so he can flip it over. And now that we've got the head on and the head gasket, he's already torqued the head down and pressure tested it. That's what that little gauge is for, coming off of the coolant outlet. And putting the cams in, getting the cam gear on. The first cam gear, usually start with the exhaust side. You want to have the dowel at around 12 o'clock. And then on the intake side, you want to have it around 3. That's going to vary depending on what cams you have, what manufacturer. As you can see, there's 2 dowel holes depending on what lines up best for you. So now we're getting to a section where we lost some footage. So the engine's already been spun over and the marks don't line up, but we make a timing tool that basically finds your marks for you. So that way you don't really need the OEM links to find perfect time. So he's just setting that on there and rotating the crank until he can get that dowel lined up. Rotating the cam, sorry. And now we're going to move to the tensioner. So with the tensioner, use the gasket, and then we supply our manual tensioner instead of the hydraulic. And the reason to go manual over the hydraulic is so that way your chain always has tension regardless of oil pressure or RPM. It's just a more reliable way to make sure that everything stays tight and you don't have any issues with valves kissing pistons, or depending on how tight the clearance is, it's much more reliable to use a manual tensioner. And there we are. Got it all set in time. I hope this video helps you guys out. Thank you for watching.